Hello Aries, I'm Lisa, this is Rooted Souls Tarot and this is your reading for the rest of this year, for the rest of 2025. So I'm filming this in June, so roughly for the next 6 months. So I've got 2 lots of oracle cards. I'm going to pick you a couple of those and then we'll dive into the tarot. So I've got the Goddess Guidance deck from Doreen Virtue. We'll have a couple of these and a couple of the Herbiary cards. And see what's going on with you, Aries. What's happening in your world for the next 6 months? Okay, I've got number 1, Freya, bold. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. Okay, and then we have Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care and appreciating your divinity. Excuse me. First cough of the day. I'm really sorry, I've got a very tickly cough. So I apologise in advance for any annoying coughing. Right, the Herbiary. Release rigidity. Cute cat there. Create space. Okay, so I feel like the rest of this year is going to be, you're going to be very confident. I think you're going to be moving forwards in a bold and confident kind of way. Obviously Freya, we've got bold, inner goddess. I think you're very much feeling a little bit more in touch with who you are moving through the rest of this year. I think you are letting the energy flow the way that is meant to and not being so strict maybe with your routines, with your day-to-day routines. And I think you are releasing some stuff in order for you to, obviously we've got the create space card there. So I feel like you're clearing the decks a little bit, Aries, moving forwards, clearing the decks in order for you to move forwards in the way that you really want for yourself. And I don't think that you're afraid to be doing it. I think you're really taking charge of what's happening for the rest of this year. And I think that's going to involve some big stuff for some of you, maybe some big moves or some big shifts in relationships. But very much you are in charge of what's going on, of what's happening. Right. Let's see what the cards have got to say. Page of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Page of Swords. The Fool. The Two of Wands, yeah. And the Page of Cups. You've literally got 3 pages. 3 pages and the Fool card. So that if that doesn't say sort of, moving forwards energy, light, bright, fresh, new stuff coming your way, I don't know what does. And I really do feel like there's going to be a massive shift for you, like I say, whether it's with home, whether it's with a relationship. There's a brand new beginning for you in some shape or form. And like I say, it's one that you have brought about for yourself. We've got that Page of Pentacles there. The page is obviously a very young energy, very simple, carefree kind of energy. But the Page of Pentacles can bring you news regarding your pentacle, something material in your life. So whether that is, a house, a business, money, health. I think that you're going to get some news that's going to be integral in moving you forwards. And I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Let's have a few cards. Six of Cups. And the Death card. There you go. Brand new beginning. I think this is related to family. I think this is related to the past. Whether you are revisiting maybe the place where that you grew up. Or maybe even moving back there. whether you are wanting to change something. I've got a real sense of going back, of you doing something that you used to do. And that comes through this page, this news, this information that you're receiving from an outside source. And it's triggering this ending and a new beginning. And like I say, I feel it's massive for you. For some of you, I really think it's as big as, you know, leaving. Maybe you move to a foreign country and you're wanting to go back home. This is how it feels. It feels very, very big, but it's about going back. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, you should never go back. But sometimes we have to go back, and sometimes it's the right thing to do. And in this case, I think it is really the right thing to do for you. I think it's what you need to do, Aries, and it's going to give you a brand new beginning, a completely new beginning, one that is going to be good, one that's going to feel a fresh start. And I feel, you know, this is all you. This is all about you. You have instigated it. You've created it. It's because you're doing this because you want to, and it feels really good. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity. A new opportunity, something that you're being offered, that's come from, you know, from this little hand that's being offered to you. And it's something that you've got to nurture, you've got to grow, you've got to put your time and energy and effort into it. And if you do, it's going to be something really worth having. It's going to bring you abundance in whatever form this takes. So whether that, again, it's your health, it's your wealth, it's your stuff, it's your home, it's your relationships. But you've got an opportunity for something new that's got potential to grow and bring you the abundance that you would like in your life. Let's have a few more cards. Don't forget, this is a general reading, so you know it's going to mean something completely different areas of life for all of you. Right, we'll have that one. We've got the Nine of Swords there. Let's have a little look. We'll have another one. Sorry, I've got little Ruby in the room with me today in my office. Decided to let her be my personal assistant for the day. Ruby's my little dog. She's one. Right, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. No, there's not a pentacle in sight there, is there? Wands. Deary me. So you're being offered a new opportunity. But I think it's not coming without some stress, shall we say, some stress and a little bit of worry attached to it. You know, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that whatever it is that's been presented in front of you is maybe just not quite straightforward, and maybe, you know, you've got to figure stuff out, jiggle things around to actually make it happen. Maybe it's something that feels really big, so you're feeling really stressed about it because you want it to work. But whatever it is, you know, you're going to really persist with it. You know that this is the right thing for you, and you are going to really just battle through there. There may be challenges that come up, as with anything, and you're going to get through them. You're going to get through them. But I think, you know, this opportunity is a good opportunity. And like I say, nothing's ever straightforward, is it? You know, nothing at all. And, you know, there'll be a few hitches, a few dramas, a few bits, you know, times where you're going to be quite stressed about it, especially if it's a move. You know, if you're moving, the logistics of moving and selling a property maybe, finding a new property, it's all very stressful, isn't it? It's very exciting, but it's very stressful, and that's what I think this is. It's that kind of, you know, stress from the Nine of Wands. It's the progressive stress, the stuff that, you know, you need to do to get to where you need to be. So we've got that Page of Swords next, and that's starting to see things clearly, and maybe some new inspirations, a bit of breakthrough energy. Let's have a look a bit more about that. Knight of Cups. You're really moving towards your happiness, and I think actually you're going to start realising it more and more. And I feel like it's, you know, you're really realising, yes, this is the right thing. Maybe you've been a little bit uncertain and you know, sort of had a foot in each camp, but by the time you get to sort of August, I think you're going to be like, yes, this is totally the right thing for me, and you're just going to keep moving, making steps, moving towards what you envision for yourself, what you vision for yourself. No, envision. Knight of Wands, it's about moving forwards. It's about moving forwards towards your happiness, moving forwards towards new love, maybe. Whatever's instigated this big shift for you. We've got the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is about finding some peace, actually, I think, for you. I think this is finding some peace, actually being able to take a breath, relax, maybe feel safe, even for some of you. But it feels like this shift, this move, you're realising that it's what you needed. It's what you need to find that peace, to find that safe space, to really just connect with yourself again. It's a blessing. This thing that's happening, it's an absolute blessing for you. And I think you're really, really realising that come sort of August. We've got the Fool here. A brand new adventure. So I feel like for it's going to be 6 months of two halves. So we've got the first 3 months and then we've got the second 3 months. And I think by sort of September, you're going to be transitioning into this new situation, this new change that you've got in your life. We've got the Fool there. It's about taking a leap of faith, starting a brand new adventure, not knowing how it's going to go, just having that excited feeling of change, of newness, of just, you know what it's like, don't you, when you go on a holiday and it's like your first day, it's like, oh, what's this holiday going to bring? Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And that's the energy of the Fool. Excuse me, my cat Max is making a racket outside the door because he wants to go out. But I've just caught him with a baby bird, so he's grounded for the rest of the day. The baby bird's okay, by the way. Right, so yeah, this brand new adventure is starting in the second half of, the last quarter, should we say, of this year for you, Aries. Oops. Say a few cards to go with it. The High Priestess and the Seven of Swords. So I think you are being very intuition-led for the last quarter. I think this new adventure, I think you're gonna follow your intuition. I think you're gonna be very deeply connected to that intuition. And I think maybe because you're revisiting the past, I think you're feeling that connection. That connection is deep. Whatever it is that's pulling you back to it, that is what's leading you forwards. And I think you're feeling a massive sense of connection once you start transitioning into this change, this new beginning. I think you're going to start, feeling more like your old self, more, if you are very, or if you consider yourself, well, we're all intuitive, but if some of you are going to be more intuitive than others, and I think if this has been the place where you have sat within this connection to spirit, connection to your higher self, if this is a place where you spent some time and maybe you've had to come away from it for whatever reason, I think it's going to be about you getting back to that, getting back to your psychic powers, getting back to your psychic self, and you're really being led by your intuition moving forwards, beginning to trust yourself a little bit more, actually. Just looking at that seven of swords, it's about deceit, and I think it's not. I'm not saying that you've been deceiving yourself, but I think you're beginning to trust yourself a little bit more and trust your intuition, and that's really going to propel you forwards on your brand new journey. It's going to be a big part of how you move through the rest of this year. We've got that Two of Swords there. Two of Swords is all about looking out into the future. It's about looking out to what's next. It can be about movement as well, about travel. And I feel very very drawn to the fact that I feel like a lot of you are going to be shifting places in some way. For some of you, it could be a movement of house. For some of you, it could be movement of work. But like a physical movement of places. And I think, you know, like I said, this is all coming together at the end of this year. Let's have a few cards to go with that. Seven of Cups and the King of Wands. So I think you've got choices. You've got choices, and I think maybe you might be struggling to make the final choice about what and where in your progression forwards through this year. But, you know, things are moving forward. We've got the King of Wands. We've got that fiery energy. You know, he's taking action. He's confident. He's moving on. So I think, you know, there may well be a little deliberation about you know, how you want your future to look, where it's going to be, how it's going to look. But, you know, you're going to really just go for it. Just like I say, you've got this really confident energy, of you being in charge, being in charge of maybe softening up, feeling, you know, just going with the flow, try not to get too stressed about anything, you know, and just taking control and taking the bulls by the horns and moving yourself onwards. We've got this Page of Cups here. Page of Cups can be new love, can be a new person for you. Let's have a look. It can be you just being very open-hearted, very loving, kind. No, that's not the one. It's not the one. We'll have two more cards. Judgment. Two of Cups. Yeah, this is all about a new person who's making you feel like a whole different person, that's bringing something to the party, that's helping you to feel different. And when I say different, I think it's more like your old self. I think this person, this connection that you've got with somebody is allowing you to flourish. They're allowing you to blossom, unfurl. Because I feel like you've been very maybe within yourself for the last 4 or 5 years. And I think things have felt very difficult. And I think this person is, whether it is an intimate other, could just be a really great friend, a really, you know, great boss, whatever. But I think for a lot of you, it is a special person. And this person is allowing you to just open up, blossom, and be yourself, and feel like yourself. This feels quite emotional, actually, Aries. This feels like, you know, you're going through a massive transitional phase these next 6 months, and you're going to come out of it feeling like a whole new person in a amazing way. And it's a whole new person. It's a person that you have always had within you, but you've never quite been able to blossom and be. Yeah, this feels really exciting for you, Aries. Really exciting. And I think, you know, the key is to release that rigidity. Just go with the flow. Try not to get too hung up on the little things. Just to let life flow through you, and let any dramas, any stresses just flow. And you'll work through it. It's nothing dramatic's happening for you the rest of this year. It's all about creating space, changing things, shaking things up, creating movement and creating literal new spaces for yourself within your life. And you're doing it in a really confident, bold way. You know, unleash your adventurous side. New adventure. You've got the Fool. That is literally the card of the new adventure. You know, and Aphrodite, your inner goddess. Don't forget to look after yourself. Appreciate how amazing you are. And I do really think that you are contacting your inner goddess, contacting your inner your intuition, your deep intuition. I really feel like you're getting connected back to yourself on that spiritual level, Aries. I'd love to know if this resonates. Please let me know. Let me know in the comments if this fits with you. And how, if you fancy sharing. It's always lovely to hear from you, and it'd be lovely if you press that subscribe button if you like what you see and you want to keep up with more of my readings. That would be fabulous too. But in the meantime, I'll leave it at that, really. I think that I've said everything that I needed to say to you, Aries. Good luck. Again, let me know if this could potentially be what's coming up for you this year, the rest of this year. In the meantime, look after yourself, stay rooted, stay open, stay magical, and I will catch up again with you very, very soon.